Good morning, I'm Al Litman, Mayor of Mesquite. Today's COVID-19 report is 135. Questions continue to arise about where our cases are people in the hospital, did we have any deaths, and so on. We provide you with everything we know as it happens in regard to COVID-19. As you know, it's taking longer to get test results because the labs are swamped with tests. The Southern Nevada Health District reports what information they have as soon as it is available, but there are lags in giving us the data. With the district closed on the weekends, it's even more difficult. This morning I have a guest with me to talk about the census and how important it is to Mesquite. Also very important to Mesquite and community is the subject of mental health. I've talked about it before, but will again today. As you probably know, during the special session of the state legislature last week, many services we expect have either been cut or eliminated due to our budget shortfall of $1.2 billion. Many of those services were in mental health. We are already in 50th place in the nation for providing health and human services. But there is hope, and I'll talk about it shortly. First, let's talk about the census. And with me today is Shalita Guzman.
Hi, my name is Shalita Guzman, and as the mayor just mentioned, I'm a recruiting assistant for the United States Census Bureau. I spoke to you a few weeks ago about the importance of the 2020 census and about the response rate challenge between the city of Mesquite and the city of Fernley. Our first challenge contest ended on July 4th, and as Mayor Litman mentioned in his video last Friday, Fernley beat us. The last time I was here, I mentioned that the stakes were pretty high, and now we have to make good on our promise to wear Fernley's shirt to tomorrow's city council meeting. Although we lost our first challenge contest, we still have a lot to be proud of. Even though we are enjoying a friendly competition between Fernley and Mesquite, the overall goal is to increase census self-response rates in both areas and support our statewide response overall. Self-response means that households respond on their own without having a census taker visit the home to complete the questionnaire. Both Mesquite and Fernley have raised their self-response rates by several percentage points since we began our challenge. In Mesquite, we have already surpassed our final self-response rate from the 2010 census by 11%. That's amazing. Thanks to Mesquite's numbers, Clark County as a whole has also passed up its total 2010 self-response rate. And last week, the entire state of Nevada also reached that same goal. This is a great accomplishment, and Mesquite has played a big part in this success. So now Mesquite's self-response rate is 67.2%. While we should be proud of this, it also means that over 30% of our city has not responded. The Census Bureau is currently mailing out one more reminder postcard to those households that have not yet responded. Households that do not respond will be visited by a census taker. These in-person visits are scheduled to begin on August 11th, so there is still time to respond on your own now. Self-responding now is very important to reduce the possibility of a census taker visit. Census takers are trained on social distancing and safety precautions, and personal protective equipment is supplied to all employees. If you are visited and you feel uncomfortable speaking to the census taker in person, you have the option of providing your phone number so the census taker can call you and complete the questionnaire over the phone. Some households that have already responded will be visited or contacted by phone for quality control checks and to verify rural addresses, but responding before August 11th will greatly reduce your chances of getting a knock on your door. If you get a reminder postcard in the mail, please go online to 2020census.gov and complete your census using the ID code found on the postcard, or call 844-330-2020 to respond by phone. Please remember that the census takers you see working in our community over the next few months are our neighbors and fellow residents of Mesquite who are willing to take on this important duty even during these difficult times. Please be courteous with them. If your home is visited by a census taker, remember that completing the questionnaire takes 10 minutes or less, and your answers are kept 100% confidential and protected by U.S. law. The census is mandated by the Constitution, so these visits are required by law in order to get the most complete count possible. Census takers are obligated to keep returning until they are able to complete the census with the household. If you just take a couple minutes to respond or provide your phone number and complete it by phone, they won't have to come back. The census is vitally important for both our local and state economic recovery during this difficult time. The final count will determine our funding for the next decade, so it is crucial that we get as close to 100% response as possible. In his video last Friday, Mayor Litman mentioned that those who watch these videos every week have most likely already responded. So we need your help to reach those who haven't. Please tell your family, friends, and neighbors to complete their census. If you're a business owner, please consider asking all your employees to respond. Completing the 2020 census questionnaire, either on your own or with the help of a census taker, is something fast and easy that every single household can do to directly improve our ability to overcome the economic hardship that our community is facing due to the COVID crisis. Thank you, Mesquite. Let's shape our future together.
Thank you, Shalita. I know that during this pandemic, we tend to concentrate on our needs and often forget others. Is it selfish? Not really, but it's human nature to first consider ourselves and others after. Some call it survival of the fittest, and in doing this, we often forget our youth, and they are our future. I want to talk about an organization that puts our youth first, HopeMeansNevada.org. Let me give you some information about them. They are a social services organization that provides assistance to our Nevada population that is under stress, especially during these unexpected times. The organization is not political and understands that some don't believe we are in a crisis. They do know this national pandemic has supercharged their mission, and their hope is to help all. Their focus is on mental health of all of you, your family, and those you love. Whether you choose to believe it or not, the coronavirus is uprooting life as we know it and putting unprecedented stress on all of us. From shelter-in-place mandates to masks, our routine has been disrupted, and we are already seeing it adversely affecting our mental wellness. Now more than ever, we must reach out and support each other, especially those suffering from depression and other mental illnesses. To begin with, Nevada has received a failure grade in youth mental health due to the large number of mental illnesses and youth experiencing extreme depressive episodes. 1 in 3 teens have considered suicide. COVID-19 and what it has already done to disrupt our lives has made this message more critical. Wednesday, I'll talk more about this disturbing but real situation. With the start of school and how it will be done, our youth are facing even more disruptions to their lives. And with disruptions come stress and depression. We as adults need to set the example for our youth. And I'll also talk more about that this week. Until then, keep the faith and stay Mesquite strong. That's an example all of us can convey. Thank you.